Starting. And we are live. It is March the 31st, 2019, 8:02 p.m. Eastern, 5:02 p.m. Pacific. And with the time change finally in Europe, it is 1:02 a.m. in the UK. All my UK folks out there. I'm Ben, your friendly neighborhood hippie and guitar freak. And with me, we have Jaime the Law Trevino in the house. How you doing, man?
Guys? Not too bad, not too bad. Just another day in paradise over here in beautiful Michigan.
Yes, it looks like paradise. Looking in and around that room, that looks like paradise to me.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's just like living in paradise, as I say.
Nice. Let's see. We've got Terry GG&G in the chat. Thank you, Mr. Moderator to the stars. We have mutual friend of ours and lovely sister of mine, Amanda. She says, "Hey, going to be a bit late doing mom stuff." We got Quentin James in the house saying he has the same shirt, I assume as me. We've got RJ the Mad One. We've got Todd Flowers. We have good buddy Michael Q. Lynn in the house catching us live. Guitar Collector 12 and Brad Miller so far jumping in.
Right on. I'm going to jump into the chat myself.
Awesome. Gravel Stevo 179. Oh, excuse me. I got the beer burps already. Brian Langford. He's got his internet back. Excellent.
We were doing this make sure everything work chat, and Ben pulls up with the Bud Light, and that's my jam right there. Bud Light. Have you ever had the Platinum?
I have.
Yeah. So Bud Light Platinum, and if it's not that, it has to be like a craft beer or something. But like when it comes to like I need a 30-pack or a 12-pack or something, 6-pack on the go. Go to a bonfire or something, it's Bud Light every time.
Sure.
Sponsor me.
I generally drink Labatt's Blue, but I was doing a gig, and especially gigging, I like to drink light beer just to keep a little bit clearer head. You know, of course, we're talking fractions here. And I asked Richie's now wife, I said, "Hey, can you grab me a Blue Light?" And she comes back with a Bud Light. And I didn't even realize it, so I started drinking. I was like, this isn't bad. And then it's been my alternate light beer ever since, and way easier to find.
Yeah. It's one of. Have you ever heard of Blue Moon?
No.
Blue Moon is delicious. What about Oberon?
Nope. Sorry.
No. Yeah. Well, if you ever come to Michigan around this time of year, you can find both of those things. Oberon is seasonal, but it's by Ball Brewing, and it's outstanding. It's like a light wheat kind of. It's just on the edge of craft.
Okay.
Style, but It's easily attainable too. You can go to the store and get it, but I would highly recommend that with a slice of orange in the glass.
Nice. I like that idea. Wait. Quentin James says, "How do you get a thumbs down and you just started? WTF?" I'll assume a disgruntled bass player. Hey, Bam Ozzy. He's tuning in from the UK. We got Sonia in the house. Ben Henry, a new name. Welcome. And good first name, buddy. Love it. Will Varela. Awesome. So yes, if you guys have any questions for myself or for Jaime, ask away. We have lots of gear to show off and talk about. And if Jaime sounds a little out of it, he did gig last night, including some battle scars. So we could... Yeah, he survived the night. We'll say that much. Hey, Alex Radford. Was checking him out live the other night. Cool guy out of the Bay Area of California. Awesome. Everyone should check out Alex Radford's channel. Give him a sub.
Oh, what kind of content does he make? Guitar stuff?
Yeah, he's a young, I'll say a young guy because he looked about half my age.
Mm-hmm.
But if I see anyone under the age of 40 playing a guitar, I'm happy. If I see anyone under the age of 30 playing, I'm ecstatic.
Yeah, I bathe in the fountain of youth every day. People think I can walk into the bar and people think I'm like 17, but I'm not going to give my exact age because I'll give you my social security number if you really want to, but
I would not recommend that. Age, yes. Social security number, not so much.
I'm afraid to give anybody any sort of self just for that fact. People are nuts out there. I don't trust anybody with that. But I'm not too far.
There we go.
Not too far off 30 there.
And I'm thinking you're on the south side of 30. You got to be in your late 27s.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm getting there, man. I'll be 27 in November.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. And I'm going to be 45 in May. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you're pretty
Go
much
figure,
the
I'm
age
such
of
a fan of what you're doing gig-wise, you know? We were saying that
yeah.
off air.
Yeah, all my friends are pretty much in their 40s.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, it's actually perfect because I don't have to deal with whiny idiots all the time.
Soda Pop says, but can you play Battle Scar? Yes, I used to be able to. I don't know if I still can. Hey, Charles Green, Ladybug, good to see ya. My Family Garden, Aaron, Albus Band. He says, I remember 27. Man, I've gone downhill. Yeah.
We already have a request.
Okay, so we have a request to see a guitar already. And Jamie's on it. Yes. Oh, one of my faves. Here, I'm going to present you here. So if you hold it up to the camera, it's not going to switch to me when I start drooling over it. Oh, my. Matching headstock. And I love those truss rod covers you have done.
Yeah, so that's actually Guitar Heads. So when I was first starting off in my my first band I was ever like really in and gigging bars. We're just talking bars and stuff. But I did get to the point where we were able to play places like the Machine Shop. So that's when I cut my teeth, and that was just shortly after high school. Mind you, I graduated in 2011, so it's been a few years since then. But I got hooked up with Guitar Heads because a few different players in my area still even use Guitar Heads, and so I built a really good relationship with those folks over there, and they've been fantastic. They make a lot of my stuff still. I don't use their pickups anymore, but truss rod covers. They make a lot of accessories like humbucker rings that are transparent. They're clear.
Ooh.
That's something that you just can't find. And they make different sizes. If you need something very specific, they can do it for you. So big fan of those guys over there. And they've hooked me up with discounts and stuff on Floyd Rose stuff and just different parts over the years. Yeah. So I'm very grateful for that relationship.
Quentin James asks X2Ns.
Yeah, actually, these are the actually, I believe so. When I bought this guitar used from Guitar Center, 2016, 2017, it had a vegan sticker, which I'm not a vegan. If you are, that's cool. But I had to take that
ironic
off.
on an animal print guitar.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, maybe that's what the guy was shooting for. But yeah, it came stock with these. But these, yeah, I did confirm they are DiMarzios. At one point, I checked them out. Problem with these pickups in this guitar is they have the long legs on the humbucker, right? So when you're looking at mounting a pickup, like this one in particular came out of my 84 Kramer, the diver down, and the legs, which you probably can't see because lighting is trash in here, but
I can see them.
What I'm saying is you can't adjust the height of this pickup. It's already tucked as far as it can get in that. If I want to lower these, there's no possible way I can do that.
Right.
So I would need to effectively remove the pickups from the guitar, modify the legs, and then reinstall with a piece of foam underneath or springs and different step screws. But I mean, the height they're currently at is it's a probably a height I'd like to set these at anyways. With my last rig, my live rig, because I have many a rig, but it was very squealy with that rig. When I take this guitar and play it through my main rig now, it's very tame. And I thought I was going to hate these pickups when I first got this guitar, but I decided to pretty much just leave them in the guitar because, especially with the 5-way switch, you can make it do some honky, spanky, stratty stuff with these. Sure. And I never thought you'd be able to do that with something like this, but you can. You just need to ride the bump.
Sure.
Yep.
Debbie Buzz, welcome. New name in the chat. She says, "Love your shirt, Jamie."
Thank you. Yeah, the Machine Shop's my place, man. I don't get to see concerts anymore because I'm always playing them. But I was able to see Y&T at the Machine Shop a few weeks back with a lot of fans and friends and stuff. And it was nice to just go in there, have a few beers, and enjoy Y&T. Like, I love Y&T so much. And it was my second time seeing them. Nice. And they were just as good as they were the first time. So
I've heard that about them. They haven't really lost their touch at all.
No, and the guy that runs the YouTube Helix channel, he makes a bunch of presets for the Line 6 Helix. His name's Scotty, I think he goes by. And he gave me a guitar pick and and he's their guitar tech.
Okay.
That's how he attained those things. I should have said that first.
Will Varela says the neck looks really long. How many frets? I'm counting 24.
Yeah, it's 24 fret. This is a DK2M. Yep.
Very cool. Hey, Showman Blues. Good to see you. Showman Blues bought himself a Friedman the other day.
Oh, yeah? What kind?
Cali. Yeah, he got a candy apple green over 3-tone burst Cali.
Man.
Yeah, it's sweet.
That sounds sexy.
Did you play any of the Friedmans at NAMM?
The amps or the guitars?
Either, both.
Yeah, I'm very well. Actually, here I'm not too far away from Motor City Guitar in Waterford, Michigan, and Marty, the owner of that store, has a lot of history with Dave Friedman, and so naturally he carries a lot of his products. He gets some stuff in his store sooner than you'll find online sometimes. That's how I actually picked up the Golden Pearl. It was in his store just maybe a few days before it was released online through Sweetwater or something like that. So I'm not really sure how distributor like me that's local to that store. It's great because I had the opportunity to buy the BEOD. What is the Plus? Or has 2 buttons on it rather than just the BEOD. I'm trying to think of the name of the pedal specifically.
Either a Plus or a Deluxe or
Deluxe. It is the Deluxe. Yeah.
That's generally the go-to name. Any pedal where they add like a boost circuit, it's the Deluxe model.
Yeah.
I've noticed.
Yeah. But yeah, so Dave, I get to play a lot of his products in there all the time because he has pretty much the entire catalog at all times. Right. Even the AFC 12, the FRFR stuff, which is kind of a niche market for especially the income is kind of low for guitar players. So it's cool.
Yes, I'm well aware of that guitar shop. I've heard about it a little over a year ago. Just from like say Michigan friends, because it's a bit of a mecca. I think if you're into gear and a guitar player, you got to make a trip to that shop.
Yeah, it's amazing. It will blow your mind. I'm actually sitting on footage that I shot there. And when I say footage, I'm not a YouTuber. I have a YouTube channel, but it's trash. I never do anything there. I might show off an unboxing or talk about products I like to use, and then show off some guitars that, I'm not a reviewer. I don't sit there and I don't have the time to review things. But when I do get the time, it is kind of nice to sit down and shoot a video and throw it up there so people can maybe learn something from it or be inspired in some way or another. Maybe I'll have to throw that video together, edit it up, and show people what Motor City Guitar actually looks like on the inside because it's incredible.
I think that's a great idea. Great idea. Lionheart says, I can't stick around. Just wanted to say hello to everyone. Tell Ben Coombs I said tone hair. Be well, everyone. That's right, Lionheart. Tone hair. Yeah. Let's see here. Now, I'm also looking at a guitar is that a crackle finish that goes all the way up to the headstock?
Oh, that's a recent car. That's a recent guitar purchase. Would you like to see it, Ben?
I would very much like to see that.
All right, let me grab that for you. I really need a longer cord for this.
I'm going to guess a Jackson.
No,
you're
wrong. This is a Kramer. Wrong.
Well, see, I only guessed a Jackson because at NAMM, there was 2 or 3 Jacksons done the exact same way with the crackle all the way up the back of the neck over the headstock and everything.
Yeah, so those are the Jackson SLX models. I have one right here. They're really great budget guitars. If you want to get a neck through and you're not trying to break the bank, I would say get one of those all day. They come with the special Duncan design pickups.
Sure.
They're cool guitars. I retired mine. Of course, I'm a Kramer guy through and through. I had too many guitars here that I wasn't really giving attention. Plus that once it did start to have some problems. So I had to retire it. But other than that, this is a great guitar. I have been taking it out. Actually, this vault that's next to me, I can load up to 4 guitars and wheel them in, take the cover off, and I can pull any one of them. As it's protected from elements, and if something gets knocked over, it's way better than running a rack like this. Just convenience sake. I mean, carrying 4 guitar cases into a venue, anybody can pick one of those up and walk off. This, you just throw the cover on, lock the top, and I mean, it's like a mini fridge. Nobody's gonna try to take that, even in this area. But I loaded up that vault with 4 guitars, and I just couldn't leave this one at home because it's so great. And I was like, I'm going through some neck swaps on my favorite guitars right now to try to fix my main guitar. It had some neck issues, so I've been swapping different necks onto it.
I remember the photos. I showed Richie the photos. He's like, yeah, that neck needs to be retired. And and then it's just mixing and matching, trying to recreate that mojo.
Yeah, well, it's a Kramer. I'll show you that one too. Let's set that here.
And my lovely sister is back.
So this is my main guitar. It's all fingerprinted up, and the strings, even though they're new, they're all disgusting from last night. We played a 2-hour show, and what would you say? How long did I play this for, would you say? Probably like an hour. Yeah, it's just home to me. And even though I have the action just right on it, there's something different about it. The neck profile on this one is super close to my original neck that was on this guitar originally. I just think it has something to do with the nut I have on this guitar. It's a bit taller than the stock nut. So I think I'm going to take the stock nut and throw it back on this guitar, and it should lower the action down here a little bit more.
Yeah, I like really low nut action too myself.
Yeah. So I think that's going to be the key there. But it flutters, does everything really well. I have a Job Tone Yellow Jacket, which a lot of you guys probably don't know what Job Tone pickups are, but there's a guy, good friend of mine out in Nevada, that hand winds these, and prototype set for single coils routes right now that it's like a stack design, but it's a little bit different. It's a spin on that, and they're coming out to like 10K for neck and middle.
Wow.
And he'll probably do a bridge eventually, but yeah, I only have the one wired up in the neck position, and it sounds really full and fat, because I told him I was looking for a cheaper option than the Seymour Duncan YJMs, which are my favorite. They're humbucking single coils, and they sound fat and full, and chimey. All those are describing pickups, but they just do the job for me. So I used 2 Seymour Duncan YJMs. They're wound to like 16K or something ridiculous, and then this 14.3K Job Tone Yellow Jacket. And that guy can do anything from powder coating the pole pieces to the base plates, make them all pretty. So that's kind of why I had the Guitar Heads people make me these clear covers up, so you can see some of that candy underneath.
Nice.
Yeah.
Have you ever worked with Wade from Motor City Pickups?
I've heard of his company. I've played his pickups before, but I've never talked to him or anything. It's my journey through gear has been weird, so I never made that pit stop, I guess.
Right. Well, I was just because he's fairly close to you, and ironically enough, I ran into him at the Friedman booth this year.
Oh, was he out at NAMM?
Yeah, he was just hanging out, doing his. I don't think he was vending. He was just hanging out because I think he does some pickups for Dave as well and stuff. So I figured, small world of things. Like, I wouldn't doubt if Motor City Guitars had them in stock and stuff like that. And he's a really cool guy to talk to, and he builds some great pickups. And also, Ron Limber was asking what was wrong with your old neck on your number 1.
Yeah. So I took that neck and I actually put it on this other striker that I saved. These are Kramer striker, the SC211 models. And they were in production, I believe, between 2010 and 2017, 2018. And the earlier necks, like this neck, the original to the purple guitar, is the sticker on the back side of the heel of the neck says Nashville, Tennessee, Gibson. All the other strikers beyond that point, 2012, Indonesia.
Right.
So, and you can definitely tell this is more of like an Ibanez wizard, whatever. It's like a
shallow neck
shape. Yeah. And the other ones are more of it's a thicker base. It's not a bad thing, but it's just not what I fell in love with. And you can see just how much time I put on this neck. Actually, you probably can't see, but it's destroyed.
There we go. I got you presented there. Yeah, there's definite wear on the neck. And as I recall, it pretty much would need a refret too.
Yeah. Which, because the wood is splintered, because I would literally play 3-hour shows with this guitar back to back to back. You know, we're talking multiple times a week and taking it overseas and stuff. It just put a lot of, I mean, this has been in service, this neck on the purple body, since 2015. You know, it's 2019 now. When you put that many hours on one guitar, especially a guitar that was priced at $379 new, I'm very surprised that I got this much usage. And I played this last night too, and because I have the action higher on this, it doesn't buzz as bad. Right. So I'm still kind of at home on it. You know, my hand goes where it needs to. So I played this for the rest of my set last night, maybe about 5 songs.
Nice.
And it did great. Yeah, so it's still kind of in service, but not fully.
And thank you for the update, Terry. He says we are 20 minutes into the show, 55 people watching, and 26 thumbs ups. Awesome.
Yeah, thanks for joining, guys.
Yeah, we appreciate it. And of course, if you're new to the channel, you dig the conversations, definitely please subscribe. If you're tuning in for the very first time, I usually do interviews on Sunday nights. Starting tomorrow night, we moved the Big Canucks with Guitar show to Monday nights, and we'll be broadcasting live from Arden's Music tomorrow night. As well as I put up gear demos, how-to videos on occasion. Like Tuesday morning, there's a video coming out on me setting up Amanda's new guitar. So, and then I will be delivering that guitar to her on Tuesday as well. And we'll probably shoot some video regarding that. Hey, Brian Stewart. Good to see you. Mad Dog, Janice, what's up, Doc? Anyone else I missed? I appreciate it. I've seen the greetings as they're coming in, but I also didn't want to interrupt Jamie because he's got some awesome guitars, and you guys have to agree they're awesome guitars. Now, here's a question regarding your guitar collection. Do you have anything that is a hardtail?
No, I have. I have, I want to say 34, 35 guitars in my collection right now, and they all have a variation of a Floyd Rose.
Okay.
Whether it's Adam Reaver's FU2 trem, or if it's a Floyd Rose official, or one I'm a huge fan of is the Ibanez Edge 02.
Right.
I believe it came on the 25th anniversary Ibanez RG2XXV, which is fluorescent yellow, and mine has the pink DiMarzios and the green knobs and stuff to kind of look gem-like, but the only difference is it doesn't have the monkey handle or the inlays.
Fair enough. All right. And I got a couple people asking about you, but I also remember when we set up the interview, you didn't want to be all braggy talking about yourself. So I'm going to take this opportunity to say, Soda Pop asked what your band's name is. I do believe you're playing with Rockstar, which is as much an event as it is just a show.
Yeah. And you're correct. Like, I came on here to talk gear, inspire people with you. If we can do that, that's my goal. I want people to be happy with their instruments. If there's a way that we can take something that might be a $200 guitar and improve it with $30, $40 worth of parts that you weren't aware of, that's my goal.
Yeah.
So people reach out to me all the time on Facebook Messenger, like, hey, I have this problem. How can I resolve it? Well, go down to nines. This is what I would say, just different stuff like that.
Sure.
My pad's scratchy and it's hard to turn. Throw a YGM 500K in there. It's going to work great for your pickups. So that's what I'm here for. I don't want to brag myself up, but I will talk about my band a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not like, yeah, come on, okay, we're playing at this place on this date. You know, sort of like one of the reasons I stopped watching late night TV because I realized it was just an infomercial for the guests to promote album, movie, TV show, what have you. And
Exactly.
yeah, Laz was asking, yo, info on your guest. So I was going to mention also, you may have seen Jamie and not known it in the side chats, whereas he goes by the screen name The Law. So if you've seen The Law and you've interacted with The Law in a chat, you're talking with Jamie.
Yeah, yeah. I when you see the pictures of me out there on the internet, on Facebook or whatever, and the Kramer ads, I am a Kramer artist. It's amazing. It's a blessing to be able to work with the folks at Kramer and see what they're coming out with. Of course, we have the Night Swan coming out and stuff like that, which is incredible. The new colors of the SM1. The picture that they use on their Facebook page is me with like 3 feet of teased hair and leather, and
that would be the thumbnail I used for the show.
Yeah, that's how I look on the stage.
Prince of Pentatonic on Instagram,
yeah,
folks.
Yeah, that's my Instagram, and I keep that to strictly guitar.
Here we go. Yeah, and I was going to mention somebody was asking thoughts on late 80s Kramer 6000. I assume like a Focus 6000. Well, I'm a fan because that's an 86 Focus 6000 right there.
Yeah, they're great guitars. Really good guitars. My only thing with them is they're 22 frets, and then I'm a very particular player when it comes to the way the guitar is designed. So my strikers, they have a very shallow heel back here. But like your guitar there, it's like a big square, right. And my hand always hits it. And plus, I like the 24 fret thing.
Nice.
But yeah, if you can look past that, and I mean, you grew up in that time, right? So you were used to all those. You had to, run.
Hey, I grew up when there was 3 kinds of guitars: Strats, Tellys, and Les Pauls.
Yeah. So you found ways to work around that stuff, and now it's just natural. Me, I've been
yes and no. I've been playing guitar for 30 years, but I've only been playing lead for 2. So.
Oh, I was unaware of that.
Yeah, I was strictly rhythm and backing vocals. I wanted to do nothing more than be a sideman. And then when we formed our latest band, the guitar player from the previous band took over vocals as well. And he's like, you're going to need to take on more guitar duties now that I'm singing. And I said, dude, that's music to my ears because I just started getting into playing lead. And the first song that I had to do all the lead work on for the most part was Whipping Post by the Allman Brothers. So nothing like getting thrown to the wolves.
Yeah. Yeah, that's incredible. So you're happier doing that now, would you say?
Yes, very much so. For the fact that like I'm a big fan of using the major pentatonic, your rockabilly, country, swing stuff, and that works for me. So Richie still does the majority of the lead work, which generally minor pentatonic stuff. And he leaves the more picking style to me, and we complement each other very well that way. Especially when we'll do back-to-back solos in the same song, and sure, it's literally the same song, but our solos are completely different as a result.
Yeah.
Hey, Elite Fitness.
A little bit more color to the song for sure.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I'm a telly player that rarely gets past the 15th fret.
Oh yeah, so you wouldn't have that problem. Yeah. Like mine is, my palm is just so hard up against the back of the neck for stability and stuff because I'm running around and jumping and being an idiot all night, and it's a requirement to be in my band. Like that's what we do. We want to take people back to the 80s. Like if you watch those music videos, it's all about throwing your guitar on your neck and stuff, which I refuse to do anymore because I got like seatbelt burn or something, like rug burn on my neck. So I stopped doing that. And somersaults, I challenged myself last year to do some CC DeVille kind of stuff, and I got hurt doing that. Like I did a somersault on a stage, and I executed it fine, but the problem was my shoulder hit the stage so hard when I rolled that I was destroyed for like 2 weeks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so that was the first and last time I've ever done that. It was so stupid. Don't do that.
I used to play in a band that, similar to you, we put on a show. Like, no matter where we played, it might as well be playing Madison Square Garden, you know? So, because, you know, it's very do-it-yourself. We have the PA at the front of the stage, and we bring in risers as well to stand on that were about 18 inches tall. So I jump up, and of course, being wireless, I jump up on the 18-inch riser. From there, I jump up on top of the 18-inch sub, and I decide I'm going to jump off the sub into out front of the stage. And we're playing in this pool hall that has like your 1/8-inch thick commercial carpet over concrete. And I'm jumping through the air going, this is going to hurt so bad when I land. I just remember getting the worst shin splints, just shooting up through my legs. And then, of course, you can't show it off, and you just have to, oh yeah, we're rocking, as I limp back around the side and come back onto the stage.
In defeat. Yeah, you got to keep the smile on your face. They're like, that's another thing too when you're doing you're in a band like I am. If like somebody could die in your family and you need to act like everything's okay.
Yeah.
Because there's so many people there that are like, they have all these problems. They write us all the time like, I couldn't make rent, but somebody gave me a ticket to your show, and I came to your show, and it took all those problems away from me for, 4 hours. Thank you for that. And they just get super deep about all the things going on in their life and the impact that we have, which is the best return that I could ever ask for.
Yeah.
Out of anything I do in life. And
well, that's the great thing about a concert. It's similar, I guess, shorter with a movie, but you get to put life on hold for a few hours and just rock out, have a good time. We'll worry about life later.
Yeah. So, I mean, to remind myself to do the same thing too. I need to worry about life later and just focus on, playing guitar and making other people happy, which is ultimately what I like to do.
Brian Stewart asks, question for Jamie, what's his oldest Kramer? Any 80s vintage stuff? I hate using the term vintage when it comes to 80s.
Yeah, same. So I have an 89. Actually, I have two guitars that are Kramers from the 80s. I have a 610, which is black. I have a video on that. I installed FU tone springs on it because the tremolo was so squeaky on it. It sounded like somebody was jumping on an old bed, box spring bed. So I put the springs in there, and you can hear the difference in like a 3 or 4 minute video, if it's even that long. And then I have, which is very similar to your 6000 back there, actually. It's just black. And then I have Pacer Custom 2.
Ooh.
Yeah, which is around here somewhere. I don't know. It's over there, like a mile away. But yeah, there are no different. Except the Pacer Custom 2 has a scoop here, a little scallop.
Oh, I love that. It's not that I ever get up there, but I love the idea that if I do need to get up there, I can get up there. Yeah. Terry says we got 67 people watching. Wow, that's awesome. Thank you, folks.
Let's get some likes in the chat.
Another new name in the chat here. Welcome, Joe 47771, which may or may not be a zip code. Have you played on any albums? I assume he's asking you.
Well, that could be a question for both of us, though.
For me, then yes.
No. I've done session work, but I don't know what happened to that. Like, I never follow up. And that was years ago.
Okay. I recorded an album with a previous band, which I talked about 2 or 3 weeks ago on the Canucks with Guitar show, where we spent a weekend at probably the best studio in Canada. So,
wow.
Yeah, it came out after 2 days of recording with 8 songs for an album.
It's better than I do. I just copy other people's music and play it.
Well, but sometimes that's harder because you can write whatever you want in your own music, but if you're trying to do the song justice and not necessarily just make it your own, which I would think you would want to be more, I'd say much more note for note than say my take on a song.
I'm going to tell you what. So we have 2 guitar players in my band, and the other guitar player is named Steve Lane. Any Yngwie fans out there that follow Yngwie very closely, Steve Lane was Yngwie's guitar tech for 6 years. Steve is the kind of guitar player where he's very accurate. both accurate, but to different degrees. Like he wants to learn it note for note. Me, I get maybe 80% down, and I like to get creative with the other 20% and make it my own. And it's not so far away from the original thing where it's unrecognizable, but it's just enough to allow me to throw in my own spin and emotion on it. Because
Sure.
for instance, Photograph, we have a video on my YouTube channel. Somebody took a Facebook Live video of us playing Photograph by Def Leppard, and the first solo is the solo that was played, and then the last solo, it's probably 60%, and then the other 40% is emotion being thrown into it, because the way we play that song is very powerful, and it gets people like,
nice.
My friend here, like, see, they'll like cry. I don't get it.
Well,
but
yeah, I could see that too. Like when it comes to Def Leppard solos, you pretty much have to play the Steve Clark solos on point, but the Phil Collins stuff, there's a little more leeway. Sort of like CC DeVille's solo in Talk Dirty to Me. You have to play pretty much note for note because it follows that vocal line so close.
Yeah, there's give and take there. There's some solos that I try to get spot on, and the majority of them, though, I'm going to do 80%, and then the other 20% is me, because that's the fun for me, and nobody has ever seemed to care, so I'm going to keep doing it until somebody yells at me.
And we got K-Dog 788 in the house. Man, we got a lot of new names in here. BC Rich 581, good to see you. All right, and we're talking grunge and jock rock, sure. New rock, I would say. You know, like saying like Three Doors Down and stuff. I think they were considered new rock.
Yeah.
Blues is saying everyone give thumbs ups, which is awesome. My sister had us a great question, which made me think because of the other guitar player in your band. Which is more important, a dream guitar or dream setup?
Oof. Oh. Well, I would have to say a dream guitar for me can be a $379 Kramer Striker that I throw a Floyd Rose on and a few different pickups. So, and then a dream rig can be as easy as something like a Kemper, or
no, not a dream rig, a dream setup.
Oh, a dream guitar setup. Well,
yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like myself, I think I would prefer the dream guitar setup, because if the guitar plays amazing, you're going to be so comfortable that you'll probably push yourself more as a player. Whereas I could have a 59 Les Paul, but if it's set up like ass, I'm going to play like crap.
Yeah, right now, especially with this purple guitar, it'd be a dream setup.
There we go.
Yeah.
Hey, Thomas. Hey, Ben and Jamie.
How's it going?
Met Thomas amongst many others here from the Johnny Beane universe, which is, I think, where we first met up. Maybe it was in Johnny's chat.
Probably, yeah. This channel about 6-7 months ago, I want to say. Maybe a little bit longer. But yeah, so I watch that quite often, actually. I get a kick out of those guys.
Yeah. And smart.
Yeah. Yeah, I've learned.
Will Varela ask Jamie what would he do if he couldn't use a Floyd anymore?
Like ever again? Or just for like a show?
Well, he kind of had an interesting, he had a comment earlier, like with guys that grow up playing nothing but Floyds, could they play a song without a Floyd? Or
yeah,
play
you can.
Without a Floyd?
You can. I could probably play like a Strat style guitar, really low gauge, like 9s or even 8s, and just let me throw it around. Low gain. Yeah, I could do it. Because my vibrato is like that really wide stuff too. But like I do the Danger Andy Timmons. Yeah, the Andy Timmons kind of, just the small stuff I'm doing all the time. You know?
That's true. That's true. Yeah, let's see here. I believe Janice was asking, what about gig bags? Talk about gig bags. I have one gig bag I use only because I couldn't find a case for my BC Rich Mockingbird that fits in a case without special ordering. So I'm not going to spend more money on the case than I am on the guitar.
Yeah, whenever I get a gig bag, I just throw it in the closet, to be honest. I mean, I do use them. When I went down to 2016, I went down to Summer NAMM, and I brought one then, but I didn't even expect to take my guitar. Ended up doing it, but
right,
it's way more convenient than a guitar case is, like a hard case, because you can just throw it on your backpack if it has the backpack straps. So, I mean, a good one. The Groove Gear stuff looks really cool. The Gig Blade.
Yep. Yeah, I picked up an SKB gig bag last year at Sweetwater because I bought the Kramer off a guy secondhand there, and I didn't want to drive basically 10 hours home with it just sitting loose on the back seat of my car.
Yeah. You got to buckle them in, man.
Yeah, I think actually it was the backpack straps I ran seatbelts through.
It's your children.
Let's see. Michael Jack says, I just watched something on Mick Mars and realized he played a lot of Kramers. That's true. Very true. But didn't have a signature Kramer.
No, he had a Beretta, and well, he had a few Berettas, and then he had the Telecaster style, the T style one.
Yes.
I say Telecaster style.
And somebody asked, what do you think of the new Kramer SM1?
Well, I think it's fantastic. I have 4 of them myself.
There we go. Terry Williams asked that.
Yeah.
I always like to give credit to who asks the questions.
Yeah, cool. Thanks for asking, man. They're great. They have new colors coming out and stuff. I'm going to try to buy all 3 of them. There's like a candy blue, there's orange crush, and then there's, it's not Millennium Silver, but it's like a silver sparkly
kind
of.
Those inlays too, the headstock inlays.
Oh yeah, the thorns.
It's got to be
this
one of the cooler inlays.
I took out the Seymour Duncan because it comes with the older ones came with alternative 8s. I think they're switching over to JBs now. But alternative 8, and then it had the Hot Rails by Seymour Duncan. So I switched this one over to 2 YJMs, and then that Job tone I was telling you about, which is wound to 14 point. This one's 14.5K, and it's just hot enough. Yeah, good balance.
Hey, we got Krellbauer in the house. Good to see you. And Brian Stewart is mentioning, okay, Yellow and Black Kramer. I think Shout at the Devil era, he was still playing BC Riches. He had his Warlock for that album. Yeah, those Kramers are nice. I personally, at NAMM this year, the Night Swan was the only one I really liked. And I would say that because it was the only one that has a neck like the neck on. I found all the other ones had too chunky a neck for me.
Yeah, this one's a 3-piece neck, right? On that?
Yep.
Yeah, so that's going to be my first purchase from Kramer. It's going to be that Night Swan, because look at the market, the used market for the Night Swan. It was like synthetic inflation over the past 5-6 years with those things. I think probably a few guys bought them up or whatever and just started jacking the prices on them or something, because you used to be able to buy those guitars for under $2,000 depending on which variant you bought, and now they're like $4,500 for a used guitar. So that's, everybody's begging for that guitar. Why not bring it back? And they did it a lot of justice. It has the volute on the back, the 3-piece neck, the ping pong inlays on there, FRT 1000, which is, if I'm going to swap out a Floyd Rose Special, it's getting the FRT 1000. I don't need to buy a German Floyd. You can just throw that on there, and they're $80 used. And you can usually get them from a parts distribution warehouse, like what is it called, the Stratosphere?
Right.
They pull them off Charvels and stuff, and they're parting them out and selling all these parts to make money back on them. And you can buy with the nut and everything.
Actually, I was thinking Janice. Yeah, she was mentioning a gig bag that we had talked about before. But that reminds me, since we're about 45 minutes in, I was just going to mention that one of my upcoming guests I know has a lot of experience with gig bags. And let's just see here. So coming up, in April, 1 week from tonight, we have the Canucks with Guitars Roundtable, including Steve Anderson is going to join us for that. The following Sunday, we have Matt, owner of Texas Toast Guitars, coming on. But also on April 10th, which I believe is a Wednesday, we have Andy, the Guitar Geek, coming on, Andrew Ferris. At the end of the month, and this is what I'm thinking of, I just confirmed it today, I have RJ Ronquillo coming on, who's done a lot of touring overseas and such, and he, I know, uses a lot of gig bags. So RJ would definitely be the guy to talk to about that. And Hey Metalhead Hippie, Frank Corcoran, anyone else that's jumping in. So yeah, I'm super stoked to have RJ on. I've been binge watching a bunch of his videos over the last few weeks, and he's awesome.
I'm looking forward to it. Because a lot of people don't realize I live very far away from where my band is located. I'm an hour and a half north. You add in weather, which Michigan, if you've never been to this area of the country or Canada or whatever, snow sucks and people don't know how to drive. So I drive a minivan full of gear. It's like an old, like 2002 Pontiac, Montana. And I have new tires on it. So, but I'm surprised in 3 years I haven't gotten into a single accident, because driving an hour and a half, like, and then you tack on another 30 minutes with weather added and accidents and stuff like that. I'm surprised. I'm very glad, but more surprised.
I hear you. Yeah, I do not miss the days of with my previous band that played originals gigging in clubs downtown Toronto, because it's 100 miles down the highway, and we got all the winter gigs we could handle because nobody wants to gig between December and March, right? So
the other problem there is people don't really want to go out to those clubs when it's bad out. So that's we try to.
Friday night in Toronto on Queen Street, it doesn't matter the time of year. It's like the Sunset Strip year round.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Is so it just a bunch
of tons of people walking up and down, because there's got to be 50 bars in a half hour's walk or something. You know, it's just it's nuts. Yeah. And you know, some have DJs, some have live music. And how are the roads in Canada? As long as you stay on the main roads, you're fine. But it has been that usually we can do the drive into downtown Toronto in about an hour and 45 minutes. And I've had where we've got in, gigged, but then they're not as quick keeping the roads up overnight. So we're getting out of the city at 2, 3 in the morning, and it's sometimes a 4-hour drive to get home.
Yeah, I know about that. We just played
doing 65 miles an hour. You're doing 30 miles an hour behind a snowplow.
Yeah, we just played Indiana just about a month ago now, like right by Kentucky. So Michigan, Ohio. Yeah. Going down with our bus, it's like 65 feet of motor vehicle, because we have our tour bus, and then we have a double axle trailer behind that with all of our equipment inside of it. So I get to lay down and just chill out, listen to music, whatever, watch YouTube, which is a lot of the time. That's when I get that time to actually do that. But going down was fine. And then coming back up, it was a freaking blizzard. And that's so much weight. And we didn't die coming back. Yeah. Everybody was like in the ditch, spun out, hit the wall. Insane. Yeah, and then you get to like, Detroit.
So is this the night? You know, is this the night we're going to be in the newspaper for the wrong reason? And you know what? I was always like at peace with it, essentially going, well, I'm with my brothers, you know, what happens, and who knows, you know, we'll see what happens. So, and thank you, Terry, for putting up the link to Jamie's channel, which is also in the description below. So definitely give Jamie a sub.
Thank you.
We have Chad in the house. He says, does your band ever get to Columbus, Ohio? You sound like a guitarist I need to see.
No, actually, yeah. We play Hollywood Casino in Toledo. I think we have a show coming up there. Yeah, so nice. If you want to go to Toledo, you can come check us out. It's free.
Lionheart says, yeah, I agree. Northwest Ohio says, take your cold back. We don't want it anymore, Canada. Fair enough. It was raining all day yesterday, and then I woke up to snow today. And before I sent you the link, at 7 p.m., it looks like a full-on blizzard outside.
Yeah. So this last week, getting out of work was great. I didn't have to wear a coat because I have a day job too. And it was like 60 degrees. And my truck was like, it's 70, but it was really 60. Because I think like greenhouse effect, my truck thinks it's hotter than it actually is. So then fast forward till Saturday and it's starting to rain, right? I'm waking up to rain. Drive down to Detroit, get on the bus, go to the gig, and then it's starting like the temperature just starts dropping. And as soon
Yep.
as there's no windows in this venue, right? So we're starting to load stuff out and I'm walking outside to, get some fresh air and it's snowing.
Yeah.
So I had to make the decision whether to go home and try to chance that what would be a now 2.5 hour drive,
Yep.
Yeah.
So it looks like we've got about 5-10 minutes left. We're not going to go too much longer than an hour, folks, because, like I say, Jamie did play last night. So this is awesome that we have him on. But let's talk about the band a little bit. The band Rockstar. How can people find the band online to be able to find out where you're playing and such?
Well, to find out where we're playing, you'd want to go to rockstaronline.net. And that's our website. Our website is not really updated with our newest pictures and stuff. But if you look at the tour page, that has a lot of our accessible shows. So shows you can buy tickets for. Sometimes we play private or corporate events that people can't actually go to, so we don't list those. Also, our Facebook page, which is, you could probably just type in Rockstar 80s and we'd come up. And of course, this face a little bit. The face on the thumbnail that Ben posted. Shouldn't be too difficult to find us. About the band, though, we travel all over the place and play awesome music for awesome people. Try to take people away from their problems for a little bit.
Excellent. So yeah, it's not so much a tribute to a specific band, but a tribute to a lifestyle, I'll say. An era, a snapshot in time, if you will.
Yeah. Yeah, we make all sorts of people feel all sorts of ways, don't we? Would you say yes?
You sure do.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I think for me, if I went to one of your shows, security would have their hands on me at some point because I'd be trying to get up on stage to sing along.
It's just weird, man. Like, I love it, but a lady was telling her it's the first time there's a female over here. She told her, it's like, I would leave. She's like, how old would you say she was?
Like
40s, late 40s. I would leave my husband for him in a heartbeat. Why? I just played guitar. That's all I did. But they fantasize about it.
Right.
It's incredible. I guess you just have to see a show for yourself to understand what that actually is. But
do you know off the top of your head when you're playing in Toledo? Lionheart's asking. He says he can't check the site right now.
Well, blow through some comments and let me see if I can find out.
Yeah, you do that. And I will say, if nothing else, go to Jamie's channel, The Law, and watch the trailer he posted a week or two ago about his band. It's just a cool little 2-minute video that, my God, in a nutshell, it looks like he's having a blast. I've shown it to several friends. I love it. I love it.
All right, so it's sooner rather than later. It's actually this week. So I have on my schedule on the 4th, Tigers opening day at the Fillmore Theater. It's right across from what's that baseball stadium called?
Ford Field?
No, it's Comerica Park. That's what it is. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm exhausted. And then plus the beer did not help. Yeah. So Tigers opening day at Comerica Park. If you're from the area, Lower Michigan, you know what Riff Radio is. It's a radio station. They throw this event at the Fillmore Theater, which all my freaking heroes play at. Steel Panther plays Fillmore. Nice. Yeah. So we do that. It's early in the morning. It's a free show. And then they drop down the big screen in front of the theater stage and you can watch the baseball game. Oh, and cool. It's supposed to be raining. So I would highly advise coming down and having a few drinks with us after the show, watching the game, because that's where we're going to be. And then on 4/6, which is Saturday, Hollywood Casino Toledo. So there you go. It's a free show.
Nice.
Yep.
So this coming Saturday night, Lionheart.
Yep.
Check it out.
And if you do come say hi and say, I'm Lionheart from Ben's stream. And I'll give you a guitar pick and a French kiss.
Ooh. There we go. Hey, Rick Hefner. Hey, that's okay. What was it? Right around the time the channel hit 1,000 subscribers, overnight it dropped back down again. And I was in Mike Bradley's live stream, and he was promising anyone that subscribed, they were allowed to stroke my beard. And surprisingly, people still subscribed.
Has anyone actually stroked your beard, though?
Not lately. Oh, wait. Well, my drummer did at last practice, come to think of it.
It was a good practice then.
It was a very good practice, yes. Shane is a loving man.
Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, Shane's a loving man, yes.
Well, there's actually a club right by where we played. It's called the Loving Touch. He should work there.
Yeah.
And then you could just attend.
And Suave Trainwreck, good to see you, Bruce. He says, good evening. May I stroke your beard? He's in Ohio as well. Man, I got to get to Ohio. There's a lot of subscribers from Ohio.
Their roads are much nicer than Michigan.
Yeah, I can agree, having driven in both Michigan and Ohio.
You get across the border and it's like, oh, where are our tax dollars actually going?
Hey, crossing the Ambassador Bridge is enough.
Yeah. And they just hiked up our, what did they just hike up?
See you at the
taxes.
Taxes or something?
Yeah, taxes on gas. So to fix the roads, which they've done that a million times. Like, we're raising this to fix the roads, and then nothing happens statewide. So it's fun.
K-Dog says roads here in New Hampshire have to be just as bad. I haven't driven in New Hampshire, but I've driven in Michigan. And all I can say is I was very happy to see that sign now entering Ohio.
I'm jealous.
I love people from Michigan, just don't like the roads. Let me clarify on that. So I have several friends in Michigan. So
hey, let me plug this. It's not even a service or anything that you can buy, but like, this is my snake for my pedal board, rack interface snake and stuff.
Nice.
And people are like, how do you have such a turnkey rig? Like, how do you actually do that? And it's because I solder a lot and just observing national touring acts and stuff like that. So I started building my own snakes a few years ago. And I don't know if you can present quick, but I'd like to show something.
Hang on, here we go.
So this is one of the ends of my snakes, right? And I have the wrong end, actually. I need this end. So this is all Tech Flex. Let's see if I can turn this towards me a little bit. This is all Tech Flex, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then never try to use Tech Flex on 1/4-inch cables that are 30 feet, because you'll need 50 feet of Tech Flex, and then your hands will be destroyed. It's aesthetically pleasing, but this was a terrible decision because this took me like an hour per cable, and then my hands were wrecked. So never do that. But just for the sake of making things very convenient, rather than plugging these cables into, all these different components on your pedal board and amp, just have an interface panel, and then you can plug everything into this specifically, which I am upside down right now. And it locks in. Like, that's my power right there. So that's not coming out no matter what you do. And then, of course, I use that Helix rack unit, which takes an RJ45, which is like an Ethernet cable. And then that clicks right in. So that's just, if you guys ever want to just, make something like that and have any questions about it, I can probably answer your questions for you and direct you into a place where you can buy all these components. Awesome. Like, this would bolt up under a sense. That's what this is for. But always willing to help people out.
Hey, we got Rapoport Fishing here. Good to see you, man. That's a cool set. Yeah, I'm still running. Well, hell, I don't even use the effects loop in my amp. So it's literally cable into my board, one cable back to my amp, and power supply. That's it.
I wish I had it that easy, but I don't. But the thing is, it's
You also
my,
can't
my
get
other
away with
guitar player,
112 combo on stage.
right? Well, that other guitar player I was telling you about in my band, he was Ingve's tech for like 6 years. He has the most whack setup ever. His pedal board is just, I've had to rewire it like 3 or 4 times because some of his components, like he has old pedals and he's using old cables that he clearly bought from Guitar Center. So I went through and hand wired patch cables for him and stuff like that, labeled everything, and it made his life a lot easier. But the just moving equipment around, it wears on it and breaks it down. Doing stuff like this, the less that you have to plug stuff in from the actual, like if you were to take a guitar pedal, if you keep plugging cables into that thing, it's going to wear out the jacks eventually.
Sure.
Where you can replace all those connectors on that patch panel, and your pedal is going to, you just plug things in one time. It's not going to wear that out. It's going to wear out the connectors you're using.
True.
Yeah.
That's true.
So like $4 a piece.
Well, I think we'll wrap things up here. Do you have anything to wrap up with, my good man?
No, thanks for tuning in and checking me out. I just need to get to bed.
Yeah, exactly. And I want to thank definitely. I want to thank everyone that tuned in. It's been in the chat. We had lots of new names, so hopefully you subscribe and definitely ring that bell so you get notified whenever we put out some content. I think we definitely will do a part 2 to this, Jamie. What do you think?
Yeah, I want to show off a lot of guitars. I have a lot of guitars back here, and some of them are super nifty. I'm just looking at like a million right now, and surface.
Ivan Carter says, great show, Ben and Jamie. Awesome. So yeah, if you want to just hold the line, again, there's a link down below to Jamie's YouTube channel. You can check out Rockstar on the inner Google. You can check him out on Facebook. Definitely give him a like and a follow, please. And you'll get informed when they're playing in your area. So if you want to just hold the line for me, I would just want to thank everyone one more time. It's been awesome. And as I always say, hold those doors open. Let that guy in ahead of you in traffic. Do good things, and good things will happen to you because karma is real. I'm living the dream. Jamie's definitely living the dream. Hey, Joe Harvey, that just jumped in for the end. Rewind back an hour. You're going to see an awesome show. Until tomorrow night. Holy crap, yeah. Monday nights, Connects with Guitars, live from Arden's Music. So we'll see all you folks in about 23 hours' time. Rock on and be good to each other. Cheers.